Sorry, I had to have the drink. But yes, of course, a week from Sunday, NASCAR goes to Watkins Glen, and that will be quite the unique race because obviously the playoff situation and stuff, but also because of the field, the drivers who are going to be in the field. Two of those drivers actually tested today for the first time, driving the NASCAR stock car, next-gen car for the first time. Kimi Raikkonen and Mike Rockenfeller. Of course, Kimi Raikkonen, big news a couple of months ago. It was announced that Trackhouse Racing would have a third part-time car, Project 91. They would put international race car drivers into this car, international people that are known all around the world into this car. And the first one will be at Watkins Glen, and it will be Kimi Raikkonen. So Raikkonen got his first test today. We will talk about that one. But him and Rockenfeller both were testing at Virginia International Raceway today. It is a road course in Southern Virginia. And, I mean, they tested the car. We're going to talk about a little bit about, some of the requirements for the testing. No competitive times were posted or anything like that. But on the Trackhouse side of things, they were posting some pictures and videos and stuff like that. So I'll show you some of those of Kimi Raikkonen in the car. So Rockenfeller, as I said, I think he's won multiple 24 hours at Le Mans. I think he's won the 24-hour at Daytona. So he's a very accomplished endurance racer, and he's going to be racing the Spire number 77 at the Charlotte Road Course. Not Watkins Glen, but the Charlotte Road Course. So I was wrong on that earlier. But he will be at the Charlotte Road Course, a road course. So obviously you're going to want to test him at a road course because why would you test him at an oval if you're going to run him at a road course? Simple. Anyways, as for Raikkonen will be making his Cup Series debut this upcoming week, or next upcoming week at Watkins Glen. He's made starts in the Truck and Xfinity Series about a decade ago, but this will be his first ever Cup start and his first road course start, actually. Both of those starts about a decade ago were actually at the Charlotte Oval in the May races, I believe. But yes, Raikkonen arrived in Charlotte, North Carolina 2 days ago, and he went into the team shop. They were posting pictures of him. He was, getting into the car, kind of getting his seat fitted, the steering wheel, gloves, all that stuff. They were getting him ready for the race next week at Watkins Glen. You got to prepare for that. A couple weeks of preparation just to make sure he's comfortable in the car. Make sure, you got to get him fitted in the car, obviously. So they did that, and they also gave him some simulator runs. So I'm sure, I don't know exactly what the simulator rules are, how much time there is, but he did get some seat time in the simulator to kind of learn a bit about the Watkins Glen track in a race car. Obviously, NASCAR has never been to Watkins Glen with the current generation of stock cars, so it's a little bit of a mystery to everyone in a little bit, but there have been 2-3 road courses so far this season, maybe more, now that I think about 4 actually. COTA, Sonoma, Road America, and Indianapolis Road Course. So 4 very different road courses have already been run in the NASCAR Cup Series. So they already have some data. Trackhouse has some data from those racetracks. And of course, they've actually been pretty successful. 50% winning percentage for Trackhouse, with Suarez winning at Sonoma and Chastain winning at COTA. So they know what they're doing on the road courses. But Raikkonen did get himself some simulator time. So you may be wondering, NASCAR, they're strict on testing. You can't go test whenever you want. You can't take your race cars out anywhere, any track, any day that you want to. It's very strict testing rules. So why does Kimi Raikkonen get to test a race car, and why does Trackhouse get to provide the car? Well, Raikkonen, he gets to test because he is a new Cup Series driver, and there are some rules we will read here. But for the second thing, Trackhouse is not providing the race car for this test. It is actually an Action Express car that is providing the car because Trackhouse cannot provide the car. Let's read through some of the rules for NASCAR testing because, it's going to be so fun to talk about this. A maximum of 3 sets of tires may be allocated for the test and must be ordered according to Goodyear's protocols. Test engine specifications must be appropriate for the testing track type. The only vehicle configuration changes permitted during the test must be related to ride and handling based on driver feedback. Data will be limited to steering, brake pressure, front and back, throttle position, gear position, and NASCAR will provide the ECU logging configuration. No other sensors or data system may be installed on the vehicle. Distribution of test data will be TBD. Only one next-gen vehicle of suitable specification for the track type at which the test will be conducted is permitted. A backup vehicle will not be permitted. The test must be conducted within 90 days of the entered event. No other drivers are permitted to test or shake down the vehicle. The organization fielding the driver at the event may not be the primary test team but may send up to 4 representatives. The organization conducting the test must be approved by NASCAR. Unless approved by NASCAR, only equipment, including the vehicle from the testing organization, will be permitted at the test. The organization fielding the driver at the event will be responsible for all testing costs. The testing venue must not be at a location in which the driver is entered in an event. Media may or may not be allowed at NASCAR's discretion. The organization fielding the driver at an event or events must submit a test request via the voucher system a minimum of 3 weeks prior to the test. If the test is approved by NASCAR, a voucher will be issued. The test must be conducted at a NASCAR or IMSA approved racetrack with NASCAR approved track services and follow all NASCAR safety protocols. Maximum test duration is 1 day for a maximum of 10 hours. Time starts the moment the vehicle is on track for the first time. Additional time may be granted in the event of inclement weather or other track-related issues. NASCAR must approve any time adjustments in advance of additional time being accumulated. Some other things it says here: select driver orientation tests are intended for drivers of elite credentials from the highest levels of motorsports to become familiar with the next-gen vehicle prior to the event. These tests are not intended to be a vehicle test, simply a driver familiarization and orientation. The driver must be approved by NASCAR. The driver must have elite credentials from the highest forms of motorsports in the world. The driver must be entered into a NASCAR Cup Series event by a current organization actively participating in the NASCAR Cup Series events. Only drivers that are licensed and approved for competition for the appropriate track time in the NASCAR Cup Series will be eligible to participate in a select driver orientation test. The driver must not have previously tested or competed at a similar track type in a next-gen vehicle. So obviously neither of these drivers have competed in the next-gen car yet or have tested a next-gen car yet, and they are going to be racing for teams that are very active. They have charters in the Cup Series, Spire and Trackhouse. So, yeah, I mean, they're following the rules. Good job, guys. Just in case you didn't know, I wanted to inform you guys, that is the rules for why these guys are getting some track time in the next-gen car on a racetrack. So obviously they went to a road course. Here is the track map, the track layout of Virginia International Raceway. So there you go. There's the track if you want to get a good look at it. But yes, of course, you're going to go to a road course to test, but not really a full-blown test. Like, how fast can you go with a tuned-up race car, a car that has a full-blown setup? Just kind of, all right, here's the car. You're going to get some laps to drive it, 10 hours to drive it. I don't think they took the full 10 hours, but, well, at least not today. They might have split it up. I don't know how they do that. Anyways, yeah, so kind of just get familiar with the car. The shifting, the sequential shifter, the stock car. You know, Kimi Raikkonen, his past 20 years, or with that small break at the beginning of the decade, has been open wheel cars, Formula One. So kind of get familiar with the stock car. You know, obviously world-class driver. He fits that profile. Should be able to adapt to the car, but, you know, just to get some extra time behind the wheel before the race weekend. Yeah, so as for Rockenfeller, kind of the same thing, but he's a little bit more familiar with, you know, he's in the Endurance Series, which those are kind of more of a, not kind of, I don't know how to word this, but it's not an open wheel car, you know. It's those sports cars in that series, the endurance racing, so definitely not an open wheel car, but, you know, probably not a stock car either, but, you know, I'm sure he will catch on very quickly as well. 2 world-class drivers testing. As for Raikkonen, yeah, here's some of the videos from today. I'm going to let you guys watch those real quick, just a couple of quick clips that Trackhouse posted. But yes, as I said, Action Express provided the car. Both the drivers drove it. I believe each organization has allowed 4 people at the test. Trackhouse, they brought Justin Marks, Daniel Suarez, and then a couple other people. I don't know who the other people were. But, of course, Justin Marks, one of the owners of Trackhouse. Daniel Suarez, one of the current drivers, helping Kimi Raikkonen out. He actually posted some pictures of his own, of him and Raikkonen at the racetrack. So, obviously, that is a very good guide for you if you are Kimi Raikkonen. Daniel Suarez, he's a very good racer on the road courses. He's got a win this year. He's obviously been in a Trackhouse, next-gen car for almost, what's it been, 2/3 of the year now. So he obviously knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about, and he knows how to win in this thing. So kind of helping Kimi Raikkonen out with that, learning the car and all that stuff. Justin Marks obviously there as the team owner. I'm sure, Marks talked about how he went over to Switzerland to talk to Raikkonen about this deal. So obviously you're going to want him there too. And then as for the other people, I don't know if they're engineers, people who are very good with the data, who know the data and stuff to kind of point things out. But some of the pictures that were provided yesterday from the shop, it looks like they were kind of looking at the data, pointing at specific things like, oh, look at here from the simulator runs. So, yeah. I mean, there's just a bunch of pictures out there. Him getting his seat fitted. He's got a pretty cool helmet. I've probably shown a bunch of pictures over this video as I've talked, so don't know what else to say. But Kimi getting himself some laps at Virginia International Raceway. I mean, he's getting his first test. And then the other guy, Mike Rockenfeller, also getting himself some test runs. 2 world-class drivers. Really cool to see in NASCAR. I watched Kimi in F1 for a few years there, so really fun to see him in the NASCAR Cup Series. Hopefully he does well. I don't know how he's going to do because Trackhouse, obviously, as I said earlier in the video, they have been extremely competitive. They have been winning at road courses this year, so I'm curious to see how good that third car is going to be, and also going to be curious to see how Kimi adapts to the car. Obviously, it's going to be a short practice and qualifying with the new practice format, but hopefully Raikkonen can get some laps in, learn the racetrack, learn the car, and he won't have to do too much learning in the race. Obviously, the whole race is going to be a learning experience for him. Never driven a NASCAR Cup Series next-gen car and never driven at Watkins Glen, at least in the Cup side of things. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. They're posting videos right now of a pit stop, Kimi's first pit stop. So, yeah, obviously having to learn, get that pit stop reps in, get the laps in, learn your braking points, learn how the car brakes, how it accelerates, shifting, how much can you use curbs, that kind of thing. So a lot to go through a driver's head when they are learning a new car. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does next week, Watkins Glen. As for this week, we've got Richmond, a short track in Virginia, actually. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that race goes, see who wins there. Will we get a 16th different winner? God, that'd be insane. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Hope it was informative. Got to learn about NASCAR testing rules. I'm sure you all had a great time learning about that. But I just want to talk about Kimi Raikkonen a bit. And then, of course, Mike Rockenfeller's also there. Talk about him a bit. Not a lot posted on him by Spire from what I have seen. Most of it's been about Kimi. But, yes, good to see that. He is getting his testing in, getting some experience. And, yeah. Looking forward to how he does in his first ever Cup Series race.